coming from UNICEF, I would much rather work with the core business of an organization than their CSR arm, usually because the CSR arm is not connected to the core business, doesn't really have a lot of say, and therefore is almost like an entity unto itself and can't. And one of the reasons for partnering with a core business would be to wield and their sort of influence and leverage. And if you don't have that in CSR, I think that we are still figuring out how best to do that. You know, the aid industry and the sort of corporate world speak very, very different languages.
Right. So who are your partners in this?
Well, so some of our partners actually in this are, one thing that we're doing is we're holding a series of conversations this year, which we work with existing partners like General Electric, Philips, IKEA, et cetera, sort of Unilever, really big corporate partners, but to bring them together in a conversation around 4 areas that we feel have tremendous potential for to do social good in emerging markets, but also have really big, business opportunities behind them. And the areas are, I think we've heard a lot of them already here today: transportation and logistics, looking at, how do we reduce cost in getting goods to market, but also create value around, let's say, getting women to hospital, or identity, looking at, the social identity and sort of user acquisition and advertising dollars being driven there, right. But also around formal identity. 1 in 3 children under the age of 5 don't have a formal birth certificate, which eventually means that they have less access to health and education services, right. But they won't actually be able to vote when it comes down to it. So you're not sort of a citizen.
But those initiatives are more government-driven, I'm assuming, than, let's say,
a
consumer
we're bringing
product.
Together.
We're
actually working.
Company would care about that.
No, we're working with Frog to actually bring together our corporate partners mainly, and some startups as well, around these issues, looking at what is the business opportunity in emerging markets. They're either already there, like Coca-Cola, right. Et cetera, Unilever. Where can we save costs? What are the new innovations that are happening in this space that could be used? And are there ways to partner around it? So public sector and the private sector together.